Speaking of adventures, you also went to Iceland to shoot a music video.
Yeah. Well, you're really making me feel like an adventure person.
I mean,
I spend 99% of my time alone in my room. Like, I hate the world.
if you go to Iceland to shoot a music video, I mean,
I know. No,
that's an adventure.
We all have multiple personalities.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yes, that is a number one life moment.
That's incredible.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, talk about that process. I know we talked about it last time.
I'll talk about it till I'm 100.
Yeah,
that's why I did it.
Yeah.
Right? It's for the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, this was 6 years ago.
Okay.
This was my first official single, and up until that point, I had made like kind of homemade sounding music in my room on my laptop with like no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
Like no BPM, no tuner, like way too much reverb, just like weird stuff.
Yeah.
Deleted it all and then finally hired a producer and learned about really making like professional music. And so the song's called Lighthouse. And I was like, I just feel that I want to make something special for this song. And I had seen what had I seen? My friend did like a dance video in Iceland or something. So I remember seeing the scenery, and I'd also seen it in movies. Like I think there's a movie called Oblivion or something where they filmed there. But I knew it was a special place just from what I had seen online. And for some reason, kind of like the ghost town thing, I just was like, ding, I have an idea. And then it's like you start researching and getting obsessed. That's what I do anyway. And so I had this crazy idea to be like, okay, I'm going to get on a plane by myself and meet up with a cinematographer there that I talked to on Instagram like a couple times and drive into the middle of nowhere and shoot a video. When I hear myself saying this, I'm like, did I have a death wish? Like when I was on the plane on the way to Iceland, I was like, I could die. This dude could murder me, like for real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was so amazing.
Yeah.
I looked into him to know that he's like the best cinematographer in Iceland, and he actually had just worked with Avril Lavigne, and was like, I was lucky that he answered me back and was down. I had to email him like 4 times for him to answer me back.
Okay.
Can you tell I'm relentless?
Yeah.
I'm like, they haven't read it yet. We're gonna keep going.
I love it. I love that.
You have to.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so basically I did a Kickstarter for that one.
Okay.
So I knew I was gonna do Airbnb for me and him, my flight, like some food, and then his cinematographer rate. Because I just kind of knew that the scenery was going to do its thing.
Yeah,
I could put on a red coat and like a beanie, do my own makeup, and then that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Because you can film anything there and it looks insane.
Right.
So yeah, I did it for like, I think $5,000 total.
Wow.
Which is really not a lot for what I got out of it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and the fact that I got to do a Kickstarter for it and my peers paid for that is insane.
Yeah, no,
yeah, it was wild.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you went to Iceland and shot a music video on 5K is pretty...
It's crazy.
It's pretty incredible.
It's crazy. And when you see what it looks like to know that it's just him and me is insane, because he's a professional drone operator and his other camera is really high end too. So everything just looks so expensive. But it really wasn't. It was literally I got to the Airbnb and then he picked me up at 6 a.m. the next day. We drove into the middle of some iceberg area. Because in Iceland, everything's incredible. You can just pull over and be like, you want to shoot there? Sure. There's mountains and giant chunks of ice. And then you just stand there and it looks running around. And then he'd be like, there's reindeer. You want to film those? Yeah. I was just like, holy shit, yes.
Yeah.
And then we would stay wherever we filmed that night, we just stay in an Airbnb there and then drive again the next day. So it was a tiny little 3-day tour type thing. Yeah. But I was sharing a room with him and I was like, he could totally murder me in my sleep. But he was the nicest person I've ever met.
Yeah.
And he was married with kids. So it wasn't,
Yeah.
We had separate beds.
Yeah.
But it was I told him, I was like, I really only have enough budget for these rooms that have these single beds. Is that cool? And he was like, yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Now I maybe would feel weird doing that. But back then I was like, YOLO. I didn't care. I was a lot less anxious at that time in my life. Life has happened since then, but we're getting back to it. It's coming full circle.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
No, that's awesome. And then you mentioned earlier talking about shooting at a school.
Yeah.
Which was something else we talked about before, but I want to revisit it because it was also really cool. And you talked about how you had to get a permit for that, but you had to like find a school first, which was a process
Yes.
for that music video.
Yeah.
So real quick, tell people about that song and the concept of the video, and then talk about the process of getting the video shot for that one.
Yeah, cool. So that song is called Press Rewind.
Yep.
And it was sort of like one of my first songs that went into like the pop punk kind of sounding lane. And so I was inspired. It was kind of written about the early 2000s, which I'm like will forever be obsessed with. And it references like some of my favorite artists. So I had this idea I should film it in a high school and recreate my favorite MTV moments. And I was like, how am I going to find a school? And this is going to be, how am I going to, like, sometimes I get an idea and then I just can't not do the full thing. I was like, oh, I'm going to be 6 different artists. Or I was like, I don't even know how many that it was. It was something like 6 or 8, and I did it all in 2 days. Wow. And I was just like, well, we're doing it. I think I lost my mind and I just felt like I needed to make this project. And when I look at it now, I'm like, it was so expensive. And I'm so proud of it. It's definitely one of my favorite things I've ever done. And it was probably the happiest I've ever felt, just getting to like do that. I felt like this like big artist because I put on this big project for myself. But what's hard is like it didn't necessarily do what I thought that it would. But you just never know what's actually going to like break you out. I thought like if it was me discovering this video, I'd be like, holy shit, this is sick. That's why I made it. But I didn't know enough about how to like get something really going. But that being said, I'm still really proud of it because yes, I did have to call. I made a list of all the high schools in LA that I felt like I could contact because there's probably still more than what I did. Definitely still more, but there was 60 of them. And when I got to the bottom of the 60th one, the first one called me back. Wow. So it ended up being the first one that I got. Wow. And I went through the whole list.
But you called all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This interview is making me feel like I'm clinically insane.
No, like
because I'm hearing myself. I'm like, whoa, I'm crazy.
No, you're very persistent, and that's amazing.
Well, I think you have to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you just apply that to like getting heard, it'll all work out. If I apply my same craziness to the videos if I can put that into actually getting heard, I think that'll be the key.
Yeah.
The key.
No, absolutely. There you go.